It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the films of May 23rd, 2003, Memorial Day weekend to be exact, and we've only got two movies this time around. Actually, considering the last couple of weeks, we've had only about two movies to look at, but we got two good ones this week. We'll start off with the best of the two. That is Jim Carrey in his first film with director Tom Shadyac, since they did Liar Liar. That is, of course, Bruce Almighty. And just like how Liar Liar was the big success in 1997, this was also a big success, in fact, an even bigger success. At the time, it actually surpassed expectations. Everyone thought The Matrix Reloaded was just going to dominate in the summertime, but this thing went on to become a massive hit, making like $86 million in its opening weekend, which was a record at the time, and was, I think, the highest grossing comedy opening weekend of all time up until probably Deadpool in 2016, and even after that, that was replaced by Barbie as of this past year. But the story of this is that you have Jim Carrey as a down-on-his-luck television reporter who complains to God, played here by Morgan Freeman, because, of course, he's going to be God. I mean, who else could possibly play him? But he's not doing it. He's complaining that he's not doing his job correctly and is offered the chance to try to be God himself for 1 week, and, of course, hilarity and chaos ensues. He's got a girlfriend played by Jennifer Aniston. You have Philip Baker Hall, as well as Tony Bennett, Catherine, now I can't remember her name, the person from Jag. Catherine Bell is also in here, as well as Lisa Ann Walter, and most notably Steve Carell, who's actually credited as Stephen Carell. So, and of course, his character would become more prominent in the second film, which was Evan Almighty, which was a spin-off sequel, mostly because Jim Carrey didn't return for the second film, which honestly, that was probably the right thing to do, because really, this movie is funny enough on its own. It didn't need a sequel with Jim Carrey in it. I mean, this is a funny, funny movie. Maybe not quite as funny as Liar Liar, which I think is still one of the great comedies of all time, but this thing still has a ton of laughs to it. Jim Carrey doing what Jim Carrey does best. He and Morgan Freeman work off each other so well. Morgan Freeman just makes God his own in this movie. I mean, he really is the other thing that is the glue that holds this movie together, because these two guys are really great together, and they each have their own amount of time they share on screen, and it's just a brilliantly fun film. It makes me laugh every time I see it. Just so many great moments in here. I mean, it has a nice heart to it. I mean, it's a really damn good movie, and you can see why it became the hit that it was, because it's a crowd-pleasing type of film. It's a film that gives you everything that you want from Jim Carrey, who really needed it, because the last couple of movies he was in that were more serious films were not big hits, even though they weren't bad movies, like The Majestic, which I didn't think was that bad of a movie. I just thought it was kind of underwhelming. Man on the Moon also kind of was underwhelming too, but this was a nice return to form for him in terms of his box office success, because it eventually became the biggest hit of his career at that point. I mean, not much more I could say about this film that hasn't already been said. It's a really damn good movie, and it's just hilarious. It's Jim Carrey doing what Jim Carrey does best. A great cast, great comedy, just all around. It's a great movie, man. I can't recommend it enough. Bruce Almighty, really, really funny film. And so with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the other comedy that came out this weekend that did not get as much attention as Bruce Almighty did, but I don't know, I think it's much better than people want on it. It's a franchise pictures movie too, a good franchise pictures movie, The Deuce, you say. Okay, maybe good's not the best way to go with it, but I think it's better than everyone else says it does. So let's take a look at The In-Laws.
This gentleman will need surgery. It's not a big deal. At worst, you lose a pound.
Steve knows danger.
You're a smuggler, a pimp with the CIA.
No, I have to kill him.
Oh, Anne's enough already.
On May 23rd,
Our son and daughter are going to be married. We're stuck with each other.
the family that spies together
Give me a hug.
stays together. Michael Douglas, Albert Brooks, The In-Laws, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, May 23rd.
Like I said, it's rare to get a good franchise pictures movie, let alone a comedy from them. But here you go, man. Like, this is a film that's actually a lot better than I think a lot of people went on. And it's essentially a remake of the 1979 movie from Peter Falk and Alan Arkin. set in modern times, where you have Michael Douglas and Albert Brooks as the two fathers in this. And right before his daughter's wedding, Albert Brooks is this foot doctor who discovers that his future son-in-law's father is a freewheeling international spy, and his son-in-law is going to be Ryan Reynolds in this movie. And you have Lindsay Sloan playing the daughter of Albert Brooks' character. You also have Robin Tooney in here. Kristen Chenoweth has a cameo in here as well. Candice Bergen's also in the movie as well. I mean, I like this movie, and I like it because the camaraderie between Michael Douglas and Albert Brooks is absolutely hilarious. I love the camaraderie between the two of them. I think they're very funny together. They have a lot of great moments in this movie that do make me laugh, and they're the two things that really do carry the load of the movie in general. Ryan Reynolds is not really given a whole lot to do. Neither is really, Lindsay Sloan. They're just kind of there to just be the couple in general, and they don't have as many funny moments as they probably should. But then again, this was still early on in Ryan Reynolds' film career, so nobody was really giving him that much to do except to just be Van Wilder before he eventually became the Ryan Reynolds that we know today. But I mean, I thought it was very funny. I thought it was very enjoyable. Like I said, it works because Michael Douglas and Albert Brooks have that great chemistry together. It's not as good as the original In-Laws, obviously. I mean, it's tough to say that. It's tough to even think that, honestly. But, it's just a really fun movie, man. I just really have a lot of good fun memories of it. I think it gets a bad rap because, honestly, I think it's a lot better than people let on. It's a real fun movie. If you go into it on the right mindset, you can find a lot to admire about it, honestly. I recommend The In-Laws. Definitely give it a shot. And speaking of Albert Brooks, the next time we meet, he'll be at the forefront of the big new release of next week, which is, of course, a little film called Finding Nemo. Hopefully it'll do well. I get a feeling that it will. It is Disney and Pixar. Surely it won't be the biggest animated film of not just the summer, but also of all time. But we'll eventually delve into that when we get to that one next week. We also have the remake of The Italian Job from F. Gary Gray, and also Eliza Dushku in Wrong Turn. Eliza Dushku? Yeah, it is Eliza Dushku. I was thinking of Joyride for some reason, but no, this has Eliza Dushku in it, so we'll take a look at that. 3 films in general we'll look at next time to wrap up the month of May 2003, and that's going to be on the next episode. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the plays on the next page, check out the previous episode, and also don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this on this channel. So, with that said, I'm off. I will see you guys next time, and until then, as always, take care.